Welcome back to the Trader Vision 2020 free trial video series. My name's Ed Carter, and along with my partners Rick Sadler and Doug Campbell, we're proud to bring you this trading tool. In today's video, we'll have another glimpse at a user interview. Just as a reminder, as part of our ongoing efforts to improve Trader Vision, I hold an ongoing series of user interviews. In these interviews, we discuss the user's thoughts on new features, changes they'd like to see, as well as what's working well now, etc. Today we'll hear one recent interview with Joan G. I want to apologize in advance, but during most of the interview, Joan had her personal account data visible on the screen. Therefore, I've limited this interview playback to audio only, and I've cut down that hour-plus interview to just a few relevant excerpts. I don't want to bore people staring at a black screen. As a result, this will be a pretty short video. However, it will give you a good sense of Joan's feelings towards Trader Vision. Also, as with the George S. interview, I don't want anyone out there to think that this was nothing but an hour of praise from Joan. During that time, I explained a few features, we did a little training, and she also made some very nice suggestions that we're looking to implement in version 2. I'm very proud of the reaction that we get from users, and particularly from Joan, but I don't want to mislead anybody into thinking there's no room for continued improvement. In my personal opinion, there's always room for improvement. So with that said, let's move on to the rest of the agenda. Specifically, we'll talk about Joan's background, and then talk about goal planning and not trading too large. Then we'll talk about trade planning and how that can breed confidence. Then Joan offers her opinion that Trader Vision is a great tool. Finally, we'll talk about the next step in this series. So with that out of the way, let's get started. We should note that Joan's background includes being a very experienced investor. In fact, she supported herself off of investments alone since 1993, some 23 years. Her background includes a great deal of oil, mining, and ETF investing experience. However, she is new to swing trading. She's told me that she's always looking for home runs, yet she always ended up taking small gains due to the emotions involved. So let's hear this in Joan's words.
I've traded a lot in oil and in my time because I did a lot of work in that industry, and I also have traded, the inverses in ETFs and that. I mean, I've had some pretty good gains in the past, but I guess I was always kind of a home run hitter, right? I like the big gains. I'd have been a lot more comfortable if I'd have just taken my profits on Friday afternoon and saw what Monday was going to bring. If I would get a quick profit, I would just take it. You can always go back in, right?
Next, let's move on and talk a little bit about goal planning. Joan specifically talked about the fact that planning out trading goals was something that intrigued her. The idea of breaking down larger goals into smaller goals. And in fact, she was very astounded to find out how smaller goals can really add up. She mentioned more than once that while attempting to make a 20% annual return, it was quite interesting to her how smaller gains can really stack up to get her to those goals much quicker than she thought. And this will prevent her from doing something that she has done in the past, which is trading way too large, having way too much money at risk to achieve the same returns. Let's hear what Joan has to say.
And so I'm intrigued with the process of the smaller amounts. I always thought, well, if you couldn't put $20,000 into a position, well, then you shouldn't. I think I was always trying to trade too large. Trader Vision has changed how I look at a trade, and it's changed me. And what was absolutely astounding to me is to make a 20% goal in a year, how small your gains have to be. Kind of what I did in Trader Vision was I said, okay, over 12 months, I maybe would like to make 20%, right? And then you can set it up again in another area that says, okay, for for my goal for this month, because I was intrigued with the fact that make 2%, the power of 2, as you had said, right? It brings me back to what intrigued me at the very, very first, was how small a gain one had to make with such a limited number of trades to reach your goal.
And there you have it in Joan's words. The next topic we talked about was trade planning, and specifically how she had come around to the trader vision point of view. She had in the past worked with an 8% stop based off of teachings of IBD and others. However, she's found that trade planning gives her the confidence to stick in trades. Understanding where her true risk really is, where the stop is, where the entry is, what logical targets are, gives a great deal of confidence and provides the ability to stick through the short-term emotional runs. Let's hear what Joan had to say on this.
And you know, the old Bill O'Neill, you know, the Investor's Business Daily, and everybody you read, oh, well, let your losses go to 8% and all of that kind of thing. And finally it twigged upon me that maybe wasn't such a really good idea. When you plan out the trade, I have confidence. Trader Vision has given me confidence to enter into more trades and try to attempt to make the number of trades per month that you need to make your annual goal.
The last topic that Joan and I covered, Joan talked about Trader Vision 2020 being a great investment for her. She felt it had paid for itself on her very first trade, and there are several things that she is now doing that she does not feel she could do without the program. Trader Vision is a program she recommends to her friends and anyone else who will listen, and I greatly appreciate that. Let's hear this in Joan's own words.
Trader Vision paid for itself for me within, I think, almost the first trade. And without Trader Vision, there is no way I would be doing this. And it's a great program, and I'm singing its praises to anybody that will listen.
Well, I certainly can't top that, and so I'm not even going to try to. I do want to give you a summary of what Trader Vision is. Trader Vision is really a decision support tool for traders, allowing you to plan good financial goals that are then broken down into per month and per trade goals. The ability to validate and plan thoroughly your trades based on risk rewards, and then use those reward risk ratios to manage your trades better and take profits as you meet your goals. It also provides a fast, organized, and very detailed approach to trade logging and trade journaling. And this allows you to very easily learn from your past performance and continue to improve in the future. So in summary, I gave you a little bit of information on Joan's background as an experienced trader. And we talked about the things that she's found from Trader Vision, including that goal planning allows her to not trade too large, that trade planning using Trader Vision is giving her confidence, and that she's finding Trader Vision to be a great tool. Unfortunately, the trial is starting to wind down, so in our next video, we'll go back and revisit those evaluation criteria I had suggested at the very beginning of your trial, and see if you can tell me where you're at then on those criteria. I hope that that will help you make a more informed decision as you decide whether or not to keep going with Trader Vision. Until next time, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to talking to you soon.